Oh, yeah. Okay. We're live. Excellent. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tau Hospital, episode 3, where I continue to fix up, for the most part, the Tau army that I purchased. We are getting there. We're definitely further along than, we were last time, so that's progress. I think my background music is slightly too loud, so I will turn that down. I'm just gonna let all the good folks on Discord know that I'm streaming, so that they can join in. Also, if you would like to join us on Discord, we would sure love to have you. We have a fun little server there that I'll grab a link for, and you can join up there. Then we'll get started. I've got my handy dandy tools, got super glue. So yeah, we'll get that going. Hopefully my cats won't knock out the Wi-Fi this time. They've done that before, so we'll see what see what happens there. There we go. Stream's been announced, and I will get an invite link so that anybody tuning in who's interested can join us. Hey, welcome GMJ and Orc Doc. Yeah, come be weird with us in the Discord. Both of you beat Josh to it. He's usually first, so if he joins today, we'll have to tell him that his title has been usurped. Sure, he'll appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna start off easy and just glue this guy down to his base, because I looked into it and I figured out the correct base size for him to be on, so he gets to get glued down. How is everybody? What are you working on tonight? What hobby projects have you got on your tables? Oh, no one in particular. Although, I like that we have alternative retellings of the Horus Heresy Primarchs. Poppy's been regaling us with some interesting headcanons as to how all of them behaved, so that's always fun to hear. And by fun, I do mean maybe a little bit chaotic, but overall a good time. Oh. I think all of these guys are supposed to go on 16mm, maybe? Who knows? I have plenty of them. I have plenty. No shortage of bases. He definitely gets a big one. I think he's supposed to as well, because he has like these big fuck-off guns. No, he's smaller as a guy. Maybe he's supposed to go on the 50s. I don't know if he's a crisis suit or a commander. I think he's probably supposed to go on the 50. That guy's definitely a big one. I don't know what my cats knocked over, but they definitely have knocked over something. Ah, that's too bad. Well, maybe I'll still be, maybe I will, still be streaming when we get home. Who knows? 19 days is a long time. I think so. I think that counts. That's still hobbying. You're doing what you can. Man, but 19 days is a slog. It could not be me. Could not be me. Still, though, I mean, as much as important your research is, you're still a human. You should still be able to take care of yourself. That's still unfortunate. You know, none of that invalidates the fact that you are a person who should be able to not work every day for 19 days in a row. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. You should not have to do that, and it sucks that you do. Hi, Tigress. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? You working on any cool hobby projects? You usually got something. I will kiss every goddamn Tau in this army on their little foreheads, and I will tell them that they are loved. That is a responsibility that I can accept. I will do it after they've been primed, though, because then I can be sure that the super glue has dried, and I will not get any on myself as I am kissing them on their little foreheads. So, but yes, they will definitely have that validation. Well, you know, for a job that has pay that isn't great and is making you work 19 days in a row, I don't think you're going to get many applicants for that anytime soon, unfortunately. That does not sound like a job that I would want. Head pats for the Tau. Yeah, we can doot 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 doot. We head patted him a little too hard and he fell over, but I think that's mostly because he's a heavy metal model and his glue wasn't set all the way. Not a heavy metal model like he listens to Twisted Metal, although maybe he does. Twisted Metal? I don't think that's what I meant to say. I definitely meant to say a band, and I didn't say any. He can be listening to Master of Puppets, because that's what everybody on the Stranger Things kicks are jamming right now. We had Kate Bush, now we've got Metallica. I wonder what old band is going to come back into style next due to television. Achilles, I swear, if you bite all the wires down there, my guy, it's not going to end well for either of us. You have two brothers to play with. Why do you decide to beat up on my technology, bruh? Good thing the Tau was already at the hospital when I knocked him over. Yeah, truth? Go run along and play, Achilles. Yeah, he doesn't have to pay for ambulance services now because he's already at the hospital. Lots of very exciting shots of me just holding the feet of Tau onto their base and waiting for them to dry. Achilles, don't bite that cord. He knows when I'm doing something and he needs to cause mischief. He picks the worst possible time, but what child does not? Alright. Those guys have been rebased. Let's get some feet off this base. Back on our bullshit. That one fell off the desk. Gotta find it before Achilles does. Here we go. Anyone got any fun plans for the weekend? This shouldn't be too hard. Seems like his feet want to go back on, so should be able to get those on without too much trouble. I love seeing crusty piles of old super glue so I can be like, yep, the previous owner did the exact same thing that I am about to do. Playing VR chat and kill team, cool. Sleep and play Frostgrave. Okay, cool. Sound like good plans. I haven't tried out Frostgrave, but it's one of those ones that I'm tempted by because people say it's really good. Okay, so this one can't be his arm, I don't think, because it would be upside down. That one would also be upside down. Or maybe they're just supposed to be like that? I don't think they are. Because that one kind of... I mean, it looks like he's holding his fist up. That could be right. I think it would make more sense if it was like that, but... Maybe? Maybe there's an arm in here that I'm missing. Lots of guns. You have both your arms. I think you just need a gun. You need an arm on this side. You need an arm on this side. So yeah, looks like there might be an arm that we're missing. Let's see if we can find... I grabbed some bits that I had lying around to see if there would be anything that we could use to fix him up. Sorry, I kind of zoned out while I was looking for a replacement arm, but I don't see one in here, so we might have to improvise something for him. Could glue a gun on there. Just say that's his arm. I've got lots of drones that I could kind of use as a shield. We'll see what we can do. There's gotta be some kind of solution. But yeah, he's definitely missing an arm. Which is weird, because I feel like I had one, so I knocked it off the desk. Which is possible. Or Achilles might have stolen it. Which is also possible. Stole a sprue out of my cabinet. Anyways, we'll figure that out. Cross that little bridge when we come to it. We'll set him aside for now. Is this lost Shrek footage? I don't think so. That would be really weird. There's Shrek I haven't seen. Keegan, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fixing Tao. There's no anime cosplayers or mutilation of anything that isn't a plastic miniature happening on this screen. You might want to refresh, because that ain't what I'm streaming, bud. Frankly, I'd be kind of concerned if it was. And there we go. There's a foot. Boop. Ah, you were doing a funny. Sorry, I missed the joke there. My bad. I wonder if I can keep calling this series Tau Hospital after I've fixed up all the Tau. Does it continue to be Tau Hospital when I'm painting them, or is it something else? Maybe that's Tau therapy, because these boys need it after all that I've put them through. Sorry, guys. I've been learning all of the lore about the different Space Marine legions, because my Discord people told me to check out Arbiter Ian's videos, and those have been really interesting. Like, I hate to admit this, because I've been very anti-Space Marine, and oh no, having a change of opinion makes you bad and inconsistent. But Space Marines might actually be kind of cool. Some of that lore is, I mean, it's over the top, sure, but it's pretty cool at the same time. It's pretty cool. I think you're probably gonna win that bet, because it's definitely likely I'm gonna break some more feet before the end of this stream. Tau rehabilitation, maybe. That's not bad. The green 3D printed gun bits are definitely a Tyler Russo edition. That did not come with the original kits, so... I kind of want to find giant fists to put on Storm Surge. Like, it's weird that he doesn't have any arms. But that means, like, going to the dollar store and desecrating a pre-existing figure. And I'd feel kind of bad for doing that. Probably would. I did like the white scars. They were pretty cool. Really kind of upset about what happened with the World Eaters Primarch. Like, that's just fucked up. Angron didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. He was just a guy. He was just a guy who, like, got captured and had to fight in gladiator matches, and then instead of, like, you know, succeeding in his rebellion, the Emperor's like, fuck you. I'm gonna kill everybody that you cared about, and also you fight for me now? Like, that's messed up. No wonder he turned to chaos. I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he was wrong. Hot take. Maybe not a hot take. I don't know what are hot takes for Space Marines. But that was messed up. You were late for reasons? Okay. I was saying, like, when other people joined and were the first to say something in the chat, I was like, Josh's title has been usurped. I mean, Peter Turbo there, his excuse for being a dickhead is he did grow up rich. A lot of... I feel like that could have been an influence in why he's kind of a jerk. It's not a great reason. He had advantages, but, like, it does explain some shit. It does explain some shit. Alright, I think that gun's gonna hold its position, so I'm gonna set you down over here, little guy. Let's get onto your bro here. Well, no one could actually usurp that from you, Josh. You were first in spirit, so don't worry about it. You had external factors. It's not a big deal. You'll get it next stream. You'll be first again. Don't worry. Also, I am working on a new stream layout, so that should be fun. Kind of not digging the random void on the side of mine, so gonna get something new made up. My same friend who made my little talkie guy in the corner is working on a new layout for me. So that should be fun. I don't know when they're going to finish it, but I'm excited about it. I gained so many patrons in the past couple of days. I've gained like 6, which is really cool. It allows me to easily make those little upgrades that I've been wanting to make. So thank you. Figure since I do so much streaming, and I mean I'm not gonna have the money for a better camera for a little while, a layout upgrade is probably a good idea. They're fun, you know, change it up a little bit. His name is Starboy, all one word actually, not two. Not Talkie Boy. I can't believe you remember the canon of my little side characters, Josh. That's quite cute. I'm glad. Thank you. Aw. Keep being rad. I think I can do that. I feel like radical is definitely an adjective that I could use to describe myself. I'm not cool, but I am rad. Which I'm sure people would use interchangeably, but I feel like one of those is way more dated than the other. Yep, that's little Starboy. He's on my little circle logo, too. It was, to be fair, it was the name of a Daft Punk song. I, however, named him before that Daft Punk song came out. Like, I have the files of when I first drew him, and I don't remember the exact date, but they are dated before the release of that song. So, like, there's nothing I can do about that, but I guess I could change his name if I wanted to. We could transition Starboy to just Starthey, which doesn't really work as well in terms of language, but works in terms of my current identity, so, you know, there is that. Yo! Realm of the Lich King in the chat. Destro is with us. I wish I had a little button that could make siren noises go off. I'm not that advanced. Like, some people have little things that they can click. I ain't got that. But I would make an air horn and it would go because you're in the chat. What up, my dude? If you guys haven't checked out Destro's channel, you should. It's really fun. He's, like, smart about terrain building and shit like that. He can make silos from, like, Pringles cans and all that shit that I don't know how to do because I don't really do too much scratch building. It's very cool. We actually have time today. That's awesome. I apparently am only going to be working on the part of the screen that is covered by my avatar. I think that's a very important part of streaming. Yes! Grognard's Yell at Cloud, the premier podcast of Destro and Jeremy Ghost Bear. Not Space Bear, Ghost Bear. Ooh. You're gonna be on a boat? That's exciting. Where are you going? Is it like a cruise? Sorry if that's personal. I can't just ask people like where they're going, but I hope it's fun. I hope it's like a boat for fun purposes and not a boat like I have to go help someone on a boat. And that's just what I get to do for a weekend. Or a week or whatever. Space Ghost Bear. What Jeremy doesn't comment on stream, we don't have to tell him. I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking space bears. He's a ghost bear, not a space bear. Although he could be a ghost in space. Ooh, cruise to the Bahamas. That sounds fun. I want to take a vacation. But I have Gen Con coming up, so gonna need to save all my my spare cash for that. I don't know if people are going to be selling used armies like they were at Adepticon, but we can start a betting pool now for if I find some used Khorne models, whether or not I come back from Adepticon with those. Spoiler alert, if I find a used Khorne army, the chances of me not returning with it are slim. I'm gonna try and once again not just buy GW models because I feel like I can buy those anywhere, but we all have our weaknesses. You don't need to watch my streams while on vacation, Josh. Go enjoy the beach. It's much prettier than this out of focus camera. I promise you. I promise you will have more fun at the beach. Clan Ghost Bear is in space. Excellent. Yeah, I think he's told me it's from Battletech before. I haven't played Battletech. It does loom in the shadow of my game store and kind of, like, whisper its secrets to me, but I haven't picked it up to play it yet. I don't know why I said that in such a creepy way. It's just on a shelf, and sometimes I look at it and go, oh, that looks interesting. God damn it, that did not... Super glue doesn't be wanting to dry tonight. That's okay. Oh, okay. If you do go to Gen Con, let me know where you're at. I'll come say hi. Unless you don't want me to. Like, that's also okay. I know you're just, like, someone from the internet, so if you're like, that would actually be really creepy, I don't want to do that, that's 100% okay. I'd be excited to meet people. I like meeting new people. I met so many people at Adepticon, it was a lot. I'm sure Gen Con's gonna be a lot, too. But I have more time over more days. I only had like 2 or 3 days at Adepticon, so I had to pack a lot in. I think I've got the full run of Gen Con, so I should be good. I'm taking a couple painting classes. It'll be a fun time. I don't know anything about Clan Ghost Bear. I just know that Jeremy's a really cool guy. He's in our Discord. If you have no idea who Jeremy is and you're like, who the fuck is this person that they're talking about? What is a Ghost Bear? Join our Discord. Our only moderator right now is Jeremy Ghost Bear, and he's a very nice person. So he's just a delight, honestly. I just want to have a wholesome stream where I talk about all of my friends. That seems to be what my streams always devolve into. Will not say a single word about themselves, but will go on about their friends for 20 hours. That's me. Oh, I can get you to meet Goober. I know Goobertown Hobbies. I can introduce you. I can make that introduction. If you want to meet Goobs, we can meet Goobs. I've challenged him to a game of Relic Blade, which means I do have to finish my Relic Blade crew, which I haven't done. I have them... They all have base coats, but they really need to be finished because, yeah, they need to be done. Absolutely, man. I'll get you to meet Goobs. 100%. I can make that happen. We will arrange that. You just message me on the Discords and we'll coordinate that all out. We'll find a day. I actually need to figure out what day I'm going to have that Relic Blade game with Goob. But we'll figure that out. I'll know what you look like one of these days, Destro. You can't hide from me forever. You can only claim to be a skeleton for so long before I get suspicious. Actually, wait. I do know what you look like. You look like a skeleton. But you should, if you ever do go to a con, I'd be more than happy to hang out with you. What about Casey? He's cooler than Brent. I met Casey as well. He is very cool. Likely where there is a Brent, there will also be a Casey. And while I have not challenged Casey to Relic Blade, I'm sure that he'll be hanging out with Brent. I'm like 80% sure that I can get you to meet Casey as well. He just has to be hanging out with Brent. And then, yeah, it's pretty easy. But, like, the two of them were going around the entire time at Adepticon together. I imagine Gen Con will be very similar, so it shouldn't be a problem. At Adepticon, I met, like, everybody. It was very cool. I had lunch sitting, like, I went to a lunch for not even coordinated, just a bunch of YouTube creators were there, and I sat across from Scott Miniac and Eric Hobby Workshop and Bill Berserker Works and Raquel Rack's Art and Ninjon from Ninjon were all there, and Danny 3D Printed Tabletop was there as well. I'm actually briefly featured in the Ninjon video about his trip to Adepticon. There's, I am in a single shot that he got while we were having that lunch. So, I don't know what that says about me, but there is video evidence that I met all of these people. So it did happen. No, I'm not gunning for Miniac's spot. Frankly, I don't trust myself. Like, in his video, he was talking about how he couldn't tell one Space Marine weapon loadout from another. You think I can tell one Space Marine weapon loadout from another? Is Danny as sweet as he seems? Yes, he is. I think the only major difference, and it's one that I've noticed with content creators, is everybody swears a bit more in person because they don't have to edit themselves for speech. But literally, we were having lunch together, and a bunch of content creators were just talking about how cool their wives were, which just a great topic of conversation. But Danny told a very sweet story about how he met his wife and stuff like that, and it was very sweet. He seems like such a genuine, fun person. Who actually wants to game a lot. Like, there was one day at the con where, I think it was Danny and Eric they just wanted to play, Stargrave, so they were using, like, miniatures that they'd gotten for free in, like, their promotional packages and stuff like that, and, terrain from, like, boxes of Bud Light and beer cans and straws taped together for bridges. Like, all of these people who make videos about how to make terrain just cobbled together stuff. It was very cool. Brent has shown up on these chats before. You believe that I've met him? Great. I'm glad that's not a rumor. Have I met Wylock? I don't know who Wylock is. I feel like I know a lot of people in the hobby space, but unfortunately that's not a name that I'm familiar with. So I don't think so. Maybe I have and I just don't know it, but as of right now, my answer is no. Okay, is this upside down or right side up? Because it could, I don't know if it's supposed to go like, oh. Because it could be like that. Is that more or less right? Okay, is this the right way? Or is this the right way for that to go? I don't know. I don't even know what model this is. I don't really paint vehicles too much. You know what? I think it's this way. Right? Or wrong. One of them is right. One of them is wrong. I don't know which is which. That's okay. If it's wrong, I'll just fix it later. It's also missing a little thingy there. I'm pretty sure I don't have that piece, so I'll have to like stick a drone on it. The big vent things face forward. No! If they're facing, that doesn't make any sense that they would be facing forward. Are you sure? Big vent goes, okay, all right, I trust you. Okay. If you say big vent goes forward, I will put the big vent forward. I won't fight it. That's what you say. I trust you. I trust all of you in the chat. I don't know shit all about vehicles. Like, people were on Casey about him having built a tank the wrong way, and I was like, fuck if I would have built that correctly. Wylock Armory. He's a big terrain and D&D crafter. I'll have to check it out. I don't think so. I don't think that I've met him. Alrighty. I trust you. That's fine. The odds of me ever painting this are a little bit slim. I hate doing vehicles, so this is not high on my priority list of things that I want to paint. Should I be admitting what I do and don't want to paint? It's fine. I'm genuine. I actually do own an airbrush Destro. My problem is I do not use it or work to learn how to use it. I should be doing that. I know I should. But it's one of those things where a lot of it... I think this needs more glue. A lot of using an airbrush is setup, cleanup kind of stuff, and I hate doing that, frankly. I just want to be able to pull up to my little desk and go. And I can't do that with an airbrush. I suppose I could get a permanent airbrushing station, but the odds of that working out with cats are not high. And currently right now my garage is occupied by a friend who's doing wood carvings in there. So like, maybe someday. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have the opportunity to attend conventions, I do highly recommend that you do so. I got a lot out of Adepticon and had a ton of fun, so I can only speak highly of it. There's like a little table in there. That's so cute. There's a little table they can sit and play cards at before they go to war. You can't really see it because it's all in shadow, and maybe it's not a table at all, but there's a little table in the ship. That needs to be covered up by something. I've got a little drone that I can put there. Yep. That's hobbying, right? Just sticking stuff on other stuff. I feel like maybe a gun drone would make more sense. Is this forward for it? I think that's forward for it. Yeah. Should do a video on airbrushing for people like me who don't know how. That's fair. Airbrush does a lot of paint particles. Yeah. I also don't really like wearing a respirator. Frankly, I don't like wearing anything on my face too much. Even like headbands and stuff. I get really fatigued with. Like, all my friends when we're playing video games, they're like, bro, you need to wear headphones so you can like hear what's going on and stuff like that. But I have to wear headphones for the phones at my job, and I don't jive with it. Like, after a while it starts to hurt my head. So I've been dodging having to do that, and I'm just like, no, I don't really want to get a headset. But yeah, I kind of hate that. Oh, here's something cool that I found while looking through my bits. This is a really old towel head. Really old. I don't actually know how old. But it's an old towel head. And I kind of want to do surgery and try attaching it to one of my existing towel. But I would feel really bad cutting off one of their heads just to put a different weird head on there. So I haven't done it because, you know, feels a little disrespectful to the people who made these towel before me. So I haven't done it yet, but I do want to. I'm gonna call that fixed. I don't know anything more to do with this model, so yeah. He's done. Gonna just set him up here on top of my Relic Blade rules that I should really be reading. These guys you still need an arm. I don't know where we're gonna find an arm for you, which is, oh wait! Nope, I thought that his backpack was an arm that he was sitting on top of. I really thought that I had an arm for him, which is bumming me out that I don't. Because I could have sworn I had one. I'm just checking the floor, making sure I didn't drop it on there. Yeah, I know, heck. I can't find the arm. What, baby? Do you want to be on camera? You want the people to see you? Oh my goodness. Okay. You're such a little ham. You know that? You know that? You're such a little ham. Yeah, you are. Want the butt scritches? Yeah? Yeah, buddy. Do you know where my towel's arm went? Did you see it? Did Achilles take it? Aww. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. You my sweet boy? Oh, yep, and now Achilles has seen someone else getting attention, which he can't stand. Don't fight your brother. Achilles, don't play with that cord. Sir. Sir. They're both little hams. Can't do a thing with them. Can't do a thing without them. But they are my boys, and I do love them dearly. Alright, so one of the solutions I'm thinking for him having no arm is just gun forearm? Like, just having a gun glued on where his arm should be, but then this spot also is clearly like a gun was ripped off here and a gun was ripped off here. So that's like, this guy would have 3 giant guns. Which, you know, I don't know if that's very Tau, but it does feel very Warhammer. It's the only solution I can think of. Even though it's quite a ridiculous solution and is going to make this model weigh like 30 pounds. I think that's a lot to ask from Superglue. However, we may ask it anyway. Because I can't figure what else would be put on the top, and it's pretty clear that there was a massive amount of Superglue beforehand. This does look like it was just an arm. These kind of look like they could have had guns on the top of them, but like, I don't really think we're going to be missing too much of anything by not having guns. And this one's got like a little drone on the top, so maybe I can find other drones to put on there. So I think we're just going to have three guns on this guy. We'll start with the big ones on the top. These ones are going to go on the top. Is this a good idea? Probably not. Is it the idea that we're going with? Drill some pins. I could do that. I don't have a drill or anything to pin it with, so I'm not gonna pin it because I'm a heathen. I don't own adequate hobby supplies for the projects that I start. Sorry. So sorry. It's not gonna work. Okay, we need to do this one gun at a time. Stop trying to be Superman here. Looks like he's missing a rocket pod arm. Yeah, it does. I tried to find the missing rocket pod arm, but I haven't been able to find it. I'm sure it's lying around here somewhere, but Achilles might have stolen it. Send them to you and you'll pin them for me. You want me to put this Tau in the mail with his 3 guns. You want me to put him in the post box and send him to Realm of the Lich King, and you will drill them and pin them for me and send them back? That's what you're proposing here, Destro? Am I hearing that correctly? Because I'll do it. I have to go to the post office tomorrow anyway. I'm almost out of stamps. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. He thinks I ain't gonna do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Alright, Destro. Alright. Sure, I'll send you a boy. Alright, I'm gonna put him over there. I'm going to the post office tomorrow. I'll find a little box to put him in. I will send him your way. Problem solved. You know what? He is getting out-of-network care at a foreign hospital because the surgery in America too expensive. So he's just going on a tour. He's going to access another country for their free healthcare. Oh, Josh asked me why I like corn so much. I trust that you're talking about the faction and not the vegetable. I don't know. I think the form language of corn models are cool. I love an army that has a simple purpose that I can play. Like, I don't As much as I love Warhammer, and believe me, I build enough armies that it's clear that I have some degree of affection for this game, I don't want to spend all of my time memorizing different rules and strategies because, frankly, I'm going to forget them, and I'm not very good at it. We all have our different skill sets. Mine is not that, it's just not it, you know? Every to each their own, you know? It is spelled corn. Alright, that's fair. That's fair. You know. But what was I talking about? Corn is apparently you just kind of run your army at the enemy and you just kill them. That's the strategy for playing corn. And that's good strategy for me. It's simple. It's easy to stick to. Can't be that hard. I don't know, actually, though. I just think the models are neat. I have fun ideas for how to paint them. I've finished all of my other Age of Sigmar armies, and I like the idea of an army that can be used in both 40k and Age of Sigmar interchangeably. Also, this model, which I have primed over, because I want to try a different paint scheme. But if he ain't the most Warhammer model that ever existed, he's got skulls literally everywhere. His cape is made out of skulls. He has skulls in his horns. I just think he looks so cool and silly and dumb. I love him. You like Slaanesh? That's fair. My favorite Chaos God is actually Tzeentch, but I don't like the Tzeentch models as much as I like the Khorne ones. In terms of favorite Chaos Gods, it's Tzeentch, and then it's Khorne, and then it's Slaanesh, and then it's every other god in the Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar universe, and then it's Nurgle. I don't like Nurgle. Not at all. He's just so creepy and gross. I suppose the good thing is they keep making new Warhammer armies, so the odds of me having painted every army and then being like, oh crap, well, I guess in order to complete the set, I gotta paint a Nurgle one now. Very low. Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but this is not a Nurgle positive space. I am very anti-Nurgle. Creeps me out, he grosses me out. All of the models are scary. Yes, Hector, every single one. Where are you going, buddy? Don't you? I'm so sorry. You're allowed to like Nurgle and have an opinion that's different from mine, but I definitely don't like Nurgle. Oh, you can definitely share your gore recipes in the Discord. Lots of people love to show me Nurgle models in the Discord and then be like, look, Fives, it's Nurgle. And then I try and find something nice and positive to say about it, even though it's Nurgle. And I don't always have the most positive things to say about Nurgle. But it's useful to know how to paint gore and stuff like that. Those are fun tips. Yeah, I mean, I used to be like, people are wrong. But then my friend Jeremy Ghostbear kindly explained that not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. Nurgle just isn't for me, and that's alright. That's why there are 28 million different flavors of faction to choose from in Warhammer. So I can just choose the one that doesn't gross me out. And you can choose the one that does. And then, when you put them down on the table, I'll be like, oh man, your gross boys are really gross. And you'll be like, yeah, that's awesome, that's what I wanted. I wanted them to be gross boys. And I won't understand why you're so proud of them for being gross, but like, that's okay. There's a guy at my Warhammer League that's always like, Fives, I love seeing how you paint your armies. I would never, ever in a million years want to play with one. Because candy stuff just isn't his jam. And I'm assuming that it's much like the Nurgle stuff with me. One of these days I'll settle down and maybe paint something by the box art. But until that day comes, I'll keep doing weird shit. That Land Raider that guy made, that's a difficult one for me to find something positive to say about. It scared me. Very creepy. He did gain a lot of sculpting confidence while making that, and he reused a plastic toy instead of sending it to a landfill, which is good. He harvested his parts from random things that he found. It was a fun video. It was definitely a fun video. No! Why would you fall over? Oh shit, Destro, when I send you my Tau, I can send you a letter in calligraphy. My handwriting's gotten so much better. So much better. You won't believe the level of cool that I can write in now. It's awesome. I'm very proud of it. I have super glued my finger to this Tau. That hurt. That hurt just a little bit. It is very effective at being what it was trying to be. Yeah. Guy is a hobbyist that I haven't met yet. You know, primarily because of the country difference. But, genuinely one of the first people that made me feel like I could learn how to play Warhammer. With his, like, learn to play 40K videos. Those were the first learn to play videos that I watched. And it made me feel like I could do it too. So, very special. I really appreciate that channel. Alrighty. Well, we fixed up some more boys in the Tau Hospital. We have a few options for what we could do. We could continue Tau Hospital, or I could start painting this corn model that I have. I've got a corn model, you know. It's very cool. Because all of the other Tau models that I have, they're a little bit more broken than the other ones that I have had. What are you doing here? You're all primed up. You're ready to go in the cabinet. But yeah, most of these are just pieces. I should keep the Tau Hospital billing. We should continue with Tau. I'm just gonna dump this all out onto the table. Gonna figure it out. A lot of this is just Kroot arms. Here's a head of a Kroot. Some little guns. Some of this fell through. Hang on. Yeah, I'll stay true to the title. We'll get some more tile fixed up. This one, I'm hoping is simple, because this is one of the ones that Tyler painted, but it broke in transport. So I don't quite know how it's meant to go back together. Oh, here we go. There's a little arm. Yeah. Cool, that must go there. I'm really worried about getting these ones popped off their bases. Tyler did such a nice job with basing them, it feels almost a betrayal to be cutting them off of things, but what can you do? I don't think this gun is actually part of this guy, so I don't know what that goes to. So much of this is I don't know what part this goes to. Let's see. Alright, that one seems simple enough. We just gotta pop this torso off of the base and then get that plonked down. Yeah, that's the one he wants the paint saved on for the most part. I've got quite a few of those stealth suits, which is fine. He did a really good job, so I'm not mad about it. That's another broken foot. That's another broken off foot. Here we go. You said that Nurgle was the only Warhammer that you knew about. I haven't gotten to the video about the Death Guard yet. So, I don't know what happened with their Primarch, but who knows? Maybe once I learn the lore, I'll be like, oh no, these boys are kind of cool too. Like, I didn't really get why everybody was all obsessed with Blood Angels and Sanguinius and all, but now that I know a little bit more about him, I'm like, yeah, he's kind of cool. He's kind of interesting. I kind of get that. Do think it's funny that you've got some Space Marines who it's like, yes, this man was beautiful. He was the most beautiful, and all of his little clones looked just like him. And others, they're like, nah, this was just a gnarly freaking guy who was really good at killing. That's why he is Primarch. The disparity of it is quite funny. Ah, okay, that's fair. Do you have Poxwalkers? Those are like the creepy zombie-looking dudes. Poxwalkers, and then there's the Great Unclean One, who's super spooky. He's the big scary man. They have that evil tree piece of terrain in Age of Sigmar that kept kicking my butt with how much area of effect shit it could do. God, I can't wait to get back to painting. Repairing these towel has been like assembly, but different. I'm sure I'll complain when I'm painting them that I've painted the same color way too many times or something like that. You know. Am I having a good time with my hobby if I'm not also complaining about it? Probably not. It's just a natural part of the process. Where does torso go? Bruh, there it is. Alright, I'm gonna step away for just a second to grab a bottle of water because I am thirsty, so I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't change the channel. More Towel Hospital coming at you. Hydration is important. If you don't have a water bottle at your hobby desk that you're using as drinking water and not painting water, you should get one. I've completely lost count of how many of these little fire warrior guys that I have, but it's quite a lot. There's gonna be a big old batch of them to paint. So I'm gonna have to get fairly efficient with however... No, get some water. You don't need to be a mummy. That's not good for you. You should hydrate while you hobby. A lot of Twitch streamers have a little button that people can use, and it's like, remember to hydrate. I always hit that button if I have enough little Twitch points to do it, because people, including me, do not drink enough water. I always forget to drink water. So, go get yourself some water, because that's important. You should not look like a mummy by the end of your hobby session. The only one who's allowed to do that is Destro, but that's because he's an actual skeleton. And their biology is different from humans, so... If he looks like a mummy, that's a normal, healthy way for a skeleton to look. It would be frankly unnatural for him to look otherwise. What do you want, Achilles? Are you gonna cause more mischief? Haven't you met your mischief quota for today? That is the face of a man who does not think he has met his mischief quota for today. That is an interesting thing for you to decide to save your points for. I only understand about 50% of the sentence that you've said there. So sick of working with plastic glue too. It's not a very nice material. It doesn't like me very much. I used to work with plastic glue so much just because our local game store was completely out of plastic glue. And, oh, okay. It's a character from Elden Ring. I haven't gotten that far in Elden Ring then, I guess. I should play more Elden Ring. My friends who I usually play Borderlands with, one of them is on holiday right now. So I have like 2 solid weeks where I'm not going to be playing Borderlands. And it is making me a little sad because I want to be playing Borderlands. But it is an opportunity for me to actually beat Resident Evil Village. So I should probably hunker down and do that. Instead, I've decided to, you know, host a Tau Hospital here nightly. This is also perfectly fine. I don't know why he's in my pile to repair. He's been repaired. Alright, this is a Kroot with no arms. See if we can get this Kroot off his base and find him some arms. Good evening, Kraz! Welcome to the stream. It's so nice to see you. You've missed out on some of the crazier attempts that I have had to get models off of their bases. But for those of you not in the know, Kraz is the one who made these lovely 3D printed bases for me and has been extreme help in bringing this Tau army together. Because I didn't know what I was going to do for bases, and then Kraz was like, I can help you make bases. And eventually they're going to correspond with a massive terrain project that I hope to be able to do to build a little candy city for these guys to fight in. It's gonna be fun. At least I hope so, anyway. I'm optimistic about it, but I've never taken on a terrain project that big before, and I still haven't really finished painting up my test model to a standard that I'm happy with. So I'm kind of hesitating to map out the rest of the city until I can successfully paint one building in a color scheme that I like. I need to kind of knuckle down and give that another go, but instead I've decided to base like 200 Tau. Which is a good decision. It's another project to knock out. And then once I've, you know, once I've made some progress on my Tau, I don't think it would be a crime to purchase 1 or 2 corn models, you know. Maybe just a little start collecting box as a treat. God, there really will be a day when I own way too many models. I don't know what the threshold for too many is, but I am approaching it quicker and quicker every day. At least that means I'll come back as a ghost, because I'll always have some unfinished business. That business is the models that I didn't finish painting. New job messing with your painting time. Yeah, employment will do that. All that time that you thought you had, it suddenly dies and you're like, oh shit, I used to be able to do activities. Now I can't do as many activities as I used to do. There's a Kroot without a head. Lots of Kroot without arms. I need some arms. There's an arm. That's like 2 arms, though. I don't think that's gonna go with that body. Oh. Here's a gun. There's a hand. This one definitely went with this body. Maybe it went with that body? No. Oh dear. So many towel, so many Kroot now that I'm like, I have half of you. I have a piece of what this Kroot should be. Like this one, clearly it needs another arm, and clearly that one needs like an arm bit to make it look. Oh dear, that fell. Oh man. Tried to put this mat down to like catch all of my spare parts, but usually they just get absorbed by my carpet and never found again. I have authentic shag carpet from the 70s in my house, so I don't know how hobbyists in the 70s did it. That part is literally gone forever now in the abyss that is my floor. Have you come to help, Hector? Are you here to triage the situation? As an expert, what is your opinion? I see. Is there any hope for the patient? No? That's very depressing. We can't tell our viewers that, Hector. They're here for an optimistic hobby time. How can you deliver such a bleak prognosis? Well, I guess the Hector has spoken. There's no hope for that poor Kroot. Are we gonna give up on the situation, Heck? No. No, we're not. Look, the arm was right there. We discovered it. Ugh. Sam's watching Hector. Ooh, Hector, you got admirers. This is Sugar Candy Miniatures now. I've been replaced by Hector. He's stolen my seat. As you can tell, he's much more capable at assembly than I am. Yeah. He's a Warhammer expert. He knows all of the legions. He's won 6 golden demons. He's very talented. He also always cleans his mold lines and drills his gun barrels. Yeah. But he won't assemble my models for me, will you, Heck? Why not? Don't you think that's kind of rude? Kind of mean? I feed you like every night. Least you could do is put in some effort to help get these armies completed. You won't do it though, huh? Say I gotta do it myself? Have a nice night. Hector, do you want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye? Now he's just burbling. He's just burbling. There we go. There's a proper goodbye. Alright, now you need to run along so I can finish hobbying, please. Sorry, I can't help it. He's adorable. Much cuter than I am. And still chatty. You're a great co-host, Hector. Nobody is doubting that. Not a single person in this chat is doubting your co-hosting capabilities. They would be fools to. Orc-Doc said goodnight. He said goodnight to you. It was very polite. Why you guys still meow for attention, huh? Because, like, what are you being deprived of right now, my guy? Nothing in this world. You do have quite a lot of 3D printing files, Kraz. But, like, also, you recently got a new job, so you can just focus on your job, and 3D printing's still going to be there for you whenever you want it to be. It's not like those files are going to go away. They'll still be there, I promise. Unlike my patients, which is wearing thin, boys. They being a little bit chaotic right now. Sorry. Apparently they've taken those Arbiter Ian videos to heart and are just like, we're gonna get corrupted by chaos now. How about you don't? I don't know how much hope there is for these Kroot. I suck at putting together models when they have to have two hands in two positions, like to hold a weapon. I suck at that at the best of times. This is not the best of times, and I'm still not going to do very well at it. I don't even think that this elbow particularly goes with this guy, but it's gonna have to work, because it's one of the only ones that I can find. And beggars can't be choosers for Kroot. Like, it should not be taking me this long to put together one Kroot. That's just straight up the truth. I do not have the time to waste on Kroot. And yet, they're gonna make me waste it. I'm starting to sound tired of Tau. I'm not tired of Tau, I just might not be the best at assembling Tau from shattered pieces of Tau that I got in the post. So that's been a little bit difficult. I definitely prefer getting my models, not... Like, if there's assembly required, I like to have the guide for assembly. Trying to sort through and figure out which parts goes where is definitely more of a trial than I was prepared for at the start of this. I, for some reason, thought that this would be a little bit easier than it turned out to be. And that's okay. Sometimes things aren't as easy as we expect them to be. And that's alright. It's just, Kroot are not a unit I feel particularly passionate about. They're kind of, hit or miss for me. So, the fact that I'm spending so much time trying to glue one arm onto one Kroot is a little irritating. It's nothing I can't handle, though. I'm very happy to have this army. I like Tau a lot. As much as I talk about wanting to get a Khorne army, I really do like Tau, and I'm very excited to have this army, so... Don't mistake that. They're my weird little guys that I had to repair, and that does make me have a different type of affection towards them. Like, if I had just gotten them and they had been perfect and all I had to do was kind of repaint them, I think it would be a different feeling than doing this. We certainly wouldn't have gotten the Tau Hospital series, so there's the Postal Service to thank for that. But I also am just straight up not good at repairing these arms. And if I had built these models, I would have chosen different arms for them to have, so I wouldn't have had to deal with this. But those are choices that I didn't get to make, so I have to kind of figure them out now. And it's not my favorite thing. That's all. But seriously, complaining about my not perfect army that I got a really good deal on is That's a bit of a privileged kid problem, so I think I can live with it somehow. Yeah, the ankle joints on the battle suits. I've snapped so many feet off so many Tau. I think maybe I'll go back and through these streams to just edit a compilation of me busting up Tau feet, because it's been a serious epidemic up in here. I probably won't do that, but just know that there's enough that there could be a highlight reel of me butchering the feet of multiple Tau. I don't think Tau are that much like Slaanesh for assembly. Like, one good thing about the Tau is that is different from orcs is that orcs have a lot of pokey bits that will kill you when you try to assemble them. And Tau tend to not have that, which I quite like. So, grateful for that. You got a box of toys for your boys, but somebody actually opened the box, took the things they wanted, and then retaped it. What? That's so weird. I'm so sorry that happened. That sucks. Especially that they were the toys that your kids ultimately wanted. Like, that sucks. That's a tough thing to have to explain to a youngin'. Sorry, bro. Some villain stole your toy. Wow. Destro, I don't know why. Maybe this is a weird thing to say, but I feel like you would get along with Kroot pretty well. Is that weird to say? I hope it's not. I hope you know I mean that as like a compliment. I just feel like you would get a kick out of that, too. You know? Alright, so this gun is missing the barrel. So I'm just gonna cut the barrel off this gun and glue it to that gun. Because I don't know shit all about guns, so I have no idea what kind of barrel it's supposed to have. Well, his hand is in the way, so that's not working as good as I would have hoped. I'll just cut this little piece at the bottom off as well. Hopefully. Boop. That'll be fine. That'll be close enough. In a field of hundreds, no one's gonna notice. Oh, I'm glad the company is going to send replacements. That's good. Happy ending. I did convert one to have a prosthetic because I couldn't find his foot. So I just used a different bit that I had lying around. Oh, you're running a Rogue Trader game? That's awesome. I feel like I really would have dug Rogue Trader if I'd been around for it. Maybe not. It does seem a little bit complicated, but it does also seem colorful. And, like, pirates just happen. And they're space hulks. Stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like I really would have dug Rogue Trader. I mean, I guess I still could. I could buy some old Hammer models. I could probably find a PDF of the rules online. I don't even know. Is Rogue Trader like a role-playing game at this point, or is it more of a war game? I want to play in your Rogue Trader game, Destro. I want to be in there. I'd have fun. I really want to find some kind of Warhammer RPG to just settle into. I just want to have a good time being a space weirdo. Just let me be a space weirdo. Kind of hybrid between the war game and the RPG. Okay, cool. They use the same name and it isn't confusing at all. No, totally not. I wasn't confused by that, even slightly. Is there literally a game called Space Weirdos? Is that a thing? Yep, Michael, that sounds... Michael, I don't know that you have ever posted in this chat before. Hello, welcome to the chat. What are you working on? What's on your hobby desk? Is this your first time here? We're very excited to have you. You can join us on Discord as well. We would love to see photos of that zombie. I have definitely done stuff like that before when I've either lost a part or can't find it or can't be bothered to glue it on. I've just been like, well, you know, I bet there are guys out there who have lost arms or lost their gear, so they're also not gonna have this thing. And that's just gonna be their life. Like, honestly, this Kroot is missing his legs and his arms. And the odds of me being able to find them are not high. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, little buddy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. This guy's missing an elbow. Elbows seem to be in short supply. This guy's missing a gun arm. This guy's missing both arms. I mean, I can give you a knife. It can be... I'm gonna just set these drones aside. I mean, I just need to reprime the drones. They're fine. They don't need new bases yet because I have to figure out how I'm gonna do flight stands. That's a whole process. So they're gonna stay over there. So what Kroot parts do we actually have to work with? Well, you're also perfectly fine. Go stand over there with the people that don't have anything wrong with them. Oh, nice! The Fabulous Marine Project is so fun. Here, I'm going to post a link to my hobby Discord. I would love to see your Fabulous Marine, or the Soul Blight. That sounds really fun. And then I can, like, give you a follow on Twitch or something. I don't use Twitch because Jeff Bezos is my worst enemy, but I do recognize that it is aggressively the superior platform to stream on, and it is such a shame. Okay, so if there's actually a game called Space Weirdos, I need to check that out, because I did literally just say that I wanted to be a space weirdo. So that just feels like it's on brand. Mysteries are hard. That's fair. That's cool that it's been running for so long. People who are able to coordinate long-running games, I admire so much. I'm like, well, we've managed to do one session in the past year. Good job. I make a lot of D&D characters. I don't always get to run the D&D characters that I have made, which is a shame. But I do want to try out other RPG systems that aren't just D&D. Like, I need to actually sit down and play 5 Parsecs from Home for myself. Bye, Tigress! Have a nice night! Thanks for joining us! Oh yeah, Play by Post is different, for sure. That's got a whole different vibe to it. But it's still nice. You heard about Space Weirdos on Uncle Adam's show, but you haven't played it. That's fair. Uncle Adam seems like he's played just about every game out there. And he also knows all the rules and paints all of the stuff really quickly. It's extremely impressive. I think this guy was supposed to have a gun instead of a second knife, but you know what? He's gonna live his best life with this transplant. You get what you get at the Tau Hospital, and sometimes that means instead of a gun, you get a knife. Regular Tuesday night game of D&D. Yeah, I think you've mentioned sometimes that you're like, I can't make your stream because it's D&D night, or, oh, I just got done with D&D. So I remember that you play on a fairly regular basis. Yeah. COVID is kind of the... What is it that they say in Dune? They got something about something being the mind killer. I think it's fear. Is fear the mind killer in Dune? I fucking don't remember. But COVID is the thing in real life that killed a lot of games. Not fear. COVID did it. Yeah, okay, so I have a ton of guns that are supposed to go places, and no secondary elbows for them to go with. I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, I don't know how to solve that particular problem for these Kroot. That might be something that Tomorrow Fives comes out with a smarter brain than current, right now, Fives has to figure out Kroot problems. I probably need to look through the bits that I have in my cabinet and see if maybe there's just a few that I missed. The few important ones that are gonna solve these problems. Destro has volunteered to solve one of my problems by pinning some, My Gilbert voice may have been a contributing factor in Gilbert Gottfried's death, man. I don't think you should trust me with that kind of power. I really don't. I think I actually did read the Litany Against Fear. I think someone did pay for that, but I don't remember too much. Because again, I don't know much about Dune. I did watch the most recent movie. I think it's very good if you're a fan of Dune. If you're not a fan of Dune, it didn't do much for me is all I'm saying. And I don't like space. I don't like space movies without aliens in them. I want to see some aliens. I want to see some robots. I did get to see a sandworm in Dune, which was nice. I appreciated that. But I feel like I need just a bit more. Just a bit more than that. You did pay for that. Why are you saying I need to read it again? Then Josh, you've already heard me do it. And I mean, yeah, I guess he can't get any deader, so there's that. 2 sessions into Tome of Annihilation when everything shut down, and then you had to switch to online. Yeah. Tomb of Annihilation, I started that with a few people, but we never actually got to the tomb, which is a shame, because I would have enjoyed doing that part. Yeah, but Destro, I'm not going to remember what happened in part 1 by the time part 2 comes out. A movie can't be all build-up to payoff in part 2, which we don't even know if they're going to get the funding for. Come on. That's a string to be led on, my guy. That's a lot. Well, I don't remember the Litany of Fear, Josh. I'm sorry. That's not something that I have memorized. I can't rattle that one off. Artist Poet says use some sprue to repair the Kroot. That's not a bad idea. I think I have some random spears, actually, that, like, Achilles fished out of my hobby drawer and I put back in. Let's see. I do have one of these, but that's very much a skeleton arm. So I don't think that's going to work for a Kroot. Also, I'm not very good at using sprue to fix things, but I guess that would give them like a chunky, kind of mechanical look. Let's see. So you're saying that what I should do is just use this piece of sprue in place of an arm. No, I don't like how that looks. I'm gonna have to find a different solution. I guess I could try sculpting an arm out of green stuff. We could try that. I mean, how hard can that be? We'll give that a go. You know what? Pop this guy off his base, and we'll try some late night green stuff sculpting. It's not your fault that Dune is enormous and very difficult to film. Well, that's fair, Destro. That's very fair. How are you going to remember what happened in Dune Part 1? Obviously, rewatch it weekly, like a normal person. I mean, maybe, but I don't intend to do that. I could give you my summary of what I remember from Dune Part 1 right now, and you can tell me how accurate that is. I don't know that that's going to be very accurate, but we can certainly do that. Hector says that's a bad idea. That's his feedback on that. What, baby? I know, usually I'm watching some TV by now, and we're cuddling on the couch, but I'm still working on the Kroot. You're being a I hear you, I know. I know. But I haven't finished work yet. Oh, don't meow at me like that. We will watch... Listen, you don't even know what show you want to watch ever since Stranger Things ended. You haven't picked out a new one. Hello, Dr. Phantasmo. What an excellent name. We have a real doctor in the house now. The Tau Hospital has its first official doctor. Welcome to the stream. I don't know that you have ever been with us before. It is lovely to have new people on stream. Right now, currently, that is exactly what I'm doing. I am working with some green stuff to try and Frankenstein, an arm onto this crew. I was talking and reading your comments. You're all talking so fast I can't keep up. But what a wonderful problem to have. What a wonderful problem to have. It's a very old name. That, you know, fair enough. I'm sorry, Josh. Everyone does not watch Dune and the 1985 Transformers cartoon movie every week. I don't, anyway. I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to watch the freaking Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust movie every week, just because I'm like, I need my dark, gothic fantasy aesthetics, but, not either of the two films that you mentioned there. Destro is going to remember part 1 because you're a person who remembers plot details of things you read once 20 years ago. Well, I'm sorry, Destro. I don't have that kind of steel trap mind. And maybe it's just because I consume a lot of media. Okay, that arm has no right to actually look that good for literally being a log of green stuff that I just stuck on. Like, what the fuck? That's acceptable. How is that acceptable? Bro. It's not great. It wouldn't hold up under a ton of scrutiny. And that wrist could be thicker, but like, as a literal first attempt at just sticking green stuff on and having not made any alteration, that is ridiculously good. I am optimistic about how the rest of this process is going to go. That looked perfect. I do need to thicken up his wrist just a little bit. The Kroot's been juicing. Thank you for having seen Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. I've been trying to find someone to talk to about this, so much so that I made my friend Kings Valley Forge watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust just so that I would have somebody else to talk to about it, because I needed to be like, isn't this film amazing and beautiful to look at? And he was like, yes it is. Okay, I did just screw up all of the beautiful, wonderful mistake that I had made by trying to thicken up that wrist, but that's fine. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna make it worse and then maybe make it better, or maybe do neither. Maybe it'll just form into something that we're kind of okay with and can live with. That's the goal. It is kind of weird watching this green stuff just bend around. It's weird. I don't like it. And then I do. Yeah, I can live with that, I think. It's not perfect, but that'll be fine. I have my little sculpting tool so I can kind of put some muscle in him. Just gonna kind of try and sculpt something that vaguely resembles a muscle formation. It's a Kroot, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to not be perfect because it's a Kroot. It's going to not be perfect because I'm not much of a sculptor, but I think it'll be enough that in an army full of other things, it won't stand out too much. Like, that's fine. No one's gonna look at that too closely. Yeah. Bloodlust is the best one. I did try and watch the other Vampire Hunter D film, and it wasn't as pretty. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I want to make Vampire Hunter D Kit Bash because I liked the film so much. And, like, you can't tell me that the Sigvald, as a base figure is not the perfect thing to start building a Vampire Hunter D Kit Bash off of. And then I could use him as a Manfred von Karstein in Age of Sigmar for the Soulblight Gravelords army that I don't finish. Just because all of the models for Manfred suck, but I think Manfred is the funniest fucking character ever, and I love him. He's my favorite Age of Sigmar character, because he's just, like, shit. He's just so villainous unapologetically, but in, like, a Starscream, Skeletor kind of way, where I find it very endearing. This Kroot might come out a bit less juiced than our previous Kroot, but I think he's gonna look better. Maybe. He does kind of have a weird Gumby arm. He needs some more mass buildup. So let me see if I have more green stuff that I can scrape together. That packet's pretty much exhausted. Do you have another packet of green stuff? Ooh, that sounds cool. I should check that video out or try and find it. I posted a link to this, to my Discord earlier. I don't know if you saw it, Dr. Phantasmo. But if you haven't joined us there, please do. And if you find a link for that Vampire Lord thing, I would love to see it, because that sounds cool as fuck. Like, legitimately, that sounds awesome. You've never joined a Discord? That's fair. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just know that that's the only way that I actually remember to check out the links to things that people send me. If you don't want to join a Discord or you don't have Discord, you don't have to. If you have an Instagram, I have one of those. And I think my DMs are just open, so if you want to send it to me there, you can. I don't know if you have an Instagram. Or if YouTube is your only form of communication, that is fine as well. You can always leave a comment on this stream, I think, and I can check it out from there. But no worries if you don't want to or can't. I can try and find that for myself. I'm sure it's out there. Jesus, Achilles. What are you doing, bud? He's trying to destroy my whole setup back here. Crashing into cords. Oh, like nobody's business. Alright, and then we gotta pop this one off his base too. I should have done that first, but you live, you learn. learn what the kids are doing these days. It's a good way of communicating, and lots of hobbyists and YouTubers have them. So I don't know how ingrained in the miniatures hobby you are, or what circle of the internet you come from, but Discords are fun. I like them. I'm in quite a few, honestly. They're definitely a way that I found to build a lot of community between myself and other hobbyists. Especially Patreon Discords have been really fun. Like the Goobertown Hobbies Patreon Discord is super fun. Dana Howell's is pretty good too. I think Alex from 52 Miniatures has a pretty good one. Glad you guys are here. I might not have bothered trying to sculpt new arms for these Kroot, to varying degrees of success, if we're fair with each other. But I probably wouldn't have given it a go if I didn't have some encouragement from y'all. So thank you. This is a very special episode of Tau Hospital because I tried something I wasn't confident in doing, and it didn't turn out horribly. Good night, Josh. Get some sleep. I'm about to call it a night here anyway. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, so that's usually about when my back hurts, and I'm like, yeah, I should probably do something besides sit hunched over at a hobby desk. Aw, thanks, Kraz. I appreciate that. It's always good to accomplish something that you didn't think you could do. And, maybe next time on Tau Hospital, I'll try and sculpt limbs for that poor limbless Kroot, who I just have a torso for, really. Not really sure what he's gonna end up doing, but, you know, he's gonna be a valuable part of this army somehow, some way. Alright, let's close up shop. Got a little bit of extra green stuff, not the end of the world. Extra bits, of course. All of my precious 3D printed bases. The model that I'm gonna send to Destro, because he offered to pin it for me, and I don't know if that offer was legit or not, but we're gonna put something in the mail and see what happens. 'Cause that sounds fun. Tau Hospital is your new favorite soap? That's great. We'll have to have some reoccurring characters besides just me. And I guess the Tau? We'll have to start naming them. Maybe we'll give them really weird soap opera names. Probably we won't do that, but we could. That's definitely an option. I haven't decided what my naming convention for these guys are going to be. And then the satisfying roll down of the roll top desk when hobbying has been completed for the night. There's something about that does just, it feels good. It feels right. Can't wait for the evil twin arc. Haha! I wasn't dead. I was just your evil twin. It's like, what? Days of Our Lives or something? That's the one that's been running forever. Anyway, I don't know anything about soap operas. But yes, hobby gods have been appeased. We got some good work in. I hope that you guys had a fun time. And I will see you on the next stream.